Internet friends, my name is Catherine and I'm the human behind creation, Miss Couture, and tonight is another night of working the Pride collection, and we're going to be doing the bisexual flag, which is one of my favorite because I really like purple and pink, magenta. So we're going to be working with three different colors tonight to create the flag, and we're going to be layering the colors. So at the end of the dyeing process, we will have a deeper blue and deeper purples, but still very strong magenta colors in the skein to create the effect that we want to create. So let's get into this. Hello, welcome to the Pride Month again, I guess. So what we're going to be working on today, is this the right colors? Yes. Okay, so we're going to do the bisexual pride flag. So it's a mix of blue, purple, and magenta that we're going to be using. So we're going to be creating our stock solutions. And I'm not going to do stripe this time. I know that last time that we were working on a pride flag, we did like the speckle, and we also did like straight lines of those colors, but this time we're just going to do twist and resist, and that way we have something a little different, because why not? I want the colors to be very pretty and I want the colors to be wearable, so this is where we do that. So we're going to be creating our stock solution. So rule of thumb, if you're doing a 1% stock solution to create 1% depth of shade, it's 1 gram per 100 milliliters. And if you were going to go for a 1% depth of shade for your yarn, if you have 100 gram of yarn, that's perfect. You just need 100 milliliter of your 1% stock solution. So this is the quick math that you can do for this. So I'm just going to go grab my respirator because I don't want to breathe in any of the dry powder because I don't want to develop respirator to develop any lung problems.
Okay, so I am muffled. Okay, let's create our stock solutions now. Starting with our blue. Nice, I got it right on the spot. That never happens. Okay. Tiny too much. Perfect. Deep magenta has a tendency to clump a little bit more than other colors, so I usually have a little harder time to get it to do exactly what I want the first time. So this is life. Okay. Lilac now. Oh, perfect. Et voilà. Okay, so now,
Now we have our colors all dissolved. So we're going to be able to prep the pan. See you in a second. Okay, so here we have, I already prepped my pan. So basically, the rule of thumb when it comes to citric acid, if you have a pound, so 454 grams of fiber, you will need 1 tablespoon of citric acid. If you're using white vinegar, I do not know how much white vinegar you would need. You would have to test for your acid level in your stuff. Okay, so, and I have 2 cups of my soap water because sometimes you can reuse it. It really depends on how dirty the soap water will be. So I think what we're going to start with is the blue for this. Turned on the heat. I don't want to add too much water, but I still want to be able to use all my blue. So let's go. Okay. So let's, oh, excuse my Zoe. And if you're working with twists like this, just count how many times you're twisting your skein so that way you can repeat it and know how to repeat and recreate the same color over time. So this is something that if you're filming yourself, like say it out loud in your video or take notes in your notebook. Okay, so we're going to let this for at least I would say 10 to 15 minutes, the time, so that way the color can absorb and strike the yarn. And we're going to come back in 15 minutes to see where we're at, and we're going to be able to flip, add, and work on our colors. See you in 15. Okay, so it's been 15 minutes and we are happy with the coverage of the blue. So now we're going to remove this, put it on the side, and I'm going to go with my lilac. And we're going to create the twist on the opposite side. Like that. And it's already striking. So we're going to let this in there for at least 15 minutes, the time that the color strikes the yarn. So see you in 15. Okay. Okay, so I'm happy with the coverage. Oh, good. There's a hint of purple in here. It's okay. Remember when I said that sometimes I have a harder time with dissolving the magenta? So we have a little bit of sediment at the bottom. So we're just going to add a little bit of water to get all the pigment out there. There we go. Okay, so let's do this. There we are. And adding the magenta last will make the blue that we've added earlier darker and the lilac slightly darker, which is what we wanted when we were working those colors in that specific order. So that way it will be closer, a closer match to the pride flag. So we're going to let this cook for half an hour and we'll come back after that. Okay, what do we look like? We look good. Nice. Happy with this. Okay, so we're going to let this turn off the heat. We're going to let it cool. After that, we're going to be washing it to make sure that we don't have any excess dye in it. Spin dryer, let it dry overnight, and I will see you in a bit. Okay, so do we expect any bleeding? Do you think we would have? Because in those colors, various colors that we usually have, our usual suspects for bleeding. However, in this case, I didn't know what I was expecting when I was going into this because my colors stained my stainless steel. So I say it's stained, but like after a good wash, it will be all good, will be all cleaned up. However, I did had a rough time to actually wash it. So I wasn't sure if we would have any colors in the bath when washing it. However, it was pretty clear, but with pink and purples and blues in generals, I always want to let it sit a little bit and do another rinse off just in case, because I know those colors have a tendency to want to bleed, and they don't necessarily always fully exhaust, which is just it's just a little bit more work to do, right? And after that, I just let it sit in the water for a little while, and usually we're all good. Now we're going to put it in the spin dry and let it dry overnight. And here's the final result for the bisexual pride flag. And you can see that we have some softer spot and we have those darker pink and purple. And that adding the magenta last really helped with the consolidation of the blue, so it made it slightly brighter and it's closer to the flag in my personal opinion, which is why I did the things that I did. So I'm very happy with how it turned out. I think it's very nice. And like the rest of the collection, like the rest of the colors for the Pride flags inspired colors, 20% of profit from every skeins sold will be donated to charity. I will have a link in the I will have a link in the description box below. So if you want to donate instead of purchasing yarn, you're more than welcome to do so. And those will be part of my permanent collection. So you don't have to worry that it will disappear at the end of the month, because it's going to be here year round. And you can purchase them at any moment, depending on your budget and it's all of that. So hope you liked that video. If you've liked it, please consider sharing, liking, and subscribing, and I will see you in the next one very soon. Bye.